Whispers in the Mist, The Haunting of Phu Kradueng and the Legend of the Churel. In the cool winter of 1973, a group of adventurous students from Srinagar University embarked on a trek to the stunning cliffs of Phu Kradueng, a national park in Thailand. The group consisted of 8 friends: Chai, the ambitious leader; Nira, the spirited photographer; Somkai, the witty joker; May, the nature enthusiast; Dao, the cautious planner; Pim, the adventurous soul; Quan, the storyteller; and Anan, the brave heart. Their aim was to camp under the stars and soak in the beauty of the wilderness. As they arrived at the foot of the mountain, the air turned crisp, and a thick fog began to creep through the trees, curling around them like spectral fingers. They set up their tents near a serene lake, the waters reflecting the eerie glow of the full moon. Laughter and camaraderie filled the air as they prepared for their night under the stars, but the darkness of the forest loomed around them, whispering ancient secrets. As the night deepened, May suggested they tell ghost stories to liven up the mood. Quan, with his talent for storytelling, recounted the chilling legend of the Churel, the vengeful spirit of a woman who had suffered betrayal in life. The Churel, he explained, roamed the forests at night, luring men with her enchanting beauty and haunting voice. Once she had ensnared her prey, her true form would emerge, a hideous specter with long hair, sunken eyes, and a thirst for revenge. As Quan spoke, the wind howled through the trees, and the atmosphere shifted. Anan chuckled nervously, dismissing the story as mere folklore. "There's no such thing as a Churel. Just an old wives' tale to scare children," he scoffed. But deep down, an unease began to settle over the group, the weight of the forest pressing down on their spirits. After the stories, they settled into their tents, but sleep eluded them. The wind rustled through the leaves, carrying with it an ethereal melody that seemed to weave through the very fabric of the night. Nira, unable to resist, peeked out of her tent. The mist had thickened, swirling around the campsite like an otherworldly presence. Suddenly, a strange sound pierced the silence, a soft, melodic singing carried on the breeze. It was beautiful yet sorrowful, a mournful tune that seemed to beckon them from the depths of the forest. Nira felt a pull in her chest, as if the voice were calling her name. She stepped out of her tent, mesmerized by the haunting melody. "Where are you going?" Chai whispered, his voice laced with concern. But Nira, entranced, couldn't answer. She followed the sound, slipping away into the mist. The others, sensing something was wrong, scrambled out of their tents, calling her name, but the fog swallowed their voices, silencing them. As Nira wandered deeper into the woods, she found herself in a clearing bathed in moonlight. The haunting song grew louder, and there, standing amidst the shadows, was a figure cloaked in mist. The woman appeared ethereal, her long hair cascading like silk. But as she turned, Nira's heart sank. The beauty of the Churel was a mask that concealed her true form, a ghastly visage with hollow eyes and a twisted grin. "Come to me," the Churel sang, her voice dripping with malice. Nira felt a chill run down her spine, the allure of the song turning to dread. She turned to flee, but the Churel's icy fingers gripped her wrist, holding her in place. "You cannot escape," the spirit hissed, her voice echoing through the trees. Back at the campsite, panic ensued as the remaining friends searched frantically for Nira. "We need to find her," Somkai shouted, fear evident in his voice. They moved through the mist, but the forest seemed to shift around them, paths leading them in circles, mocking their desperate cries. "Split up. We can cover more ground," Chai ordered, his heart pounding. The group reluctantly separated, each one calling for Nira, the eerie silence swallowing their pleas. As Quan ventured further into the darkness, he stumbled upon the clearing where Nira had encountered the Churel. The moment he stepped into the moonlit space, he felt an oppressive force. The trees seemed to lean closer, the shadows stretching toward him. He caught sight of Nira, standing entranced by the Churel, her eyes vacant, as if her soul was slipping away. Quan's breath caught in his throat as he shouted, "Nira! Run!" The Churel turned her malevolent gaze toward him, and he felt the weight of her fury pressing down on him. "You shouldn't have come here," she warned, her voice resonating like thunder. "They will all pay for their trespasses." With a sudden burst of adrenaline, Kwon charged forward, pulling Nira away from the spirit's grasp. "We have to go now," he yelled. The Churel screeched in rage, her true form unfurling before them, twisted and ghastly, an abomination born of despair and anger. As they fled, the forest transformed into a nightmarish labyrinth. Shadows danced along the trees, whispering warnings and mocking laughter. Song Kai and Dao found them, eyes wide with terror. "What happened?" Dao gasped, breathless. "The Churel, it's real," Kwon shouted. "We have to leave this place." They turned to make their escape, but the forest seemed alive, branches snatching at their clothes, the mist thickening around them. The Churel's voice echoed, mingling with the cries of the forest, drowning their pleas for help. One by one, the group began to vanish, taken by the shadows, the cursed woods reclaiming its victims. Only Chai, Kwon, and Ainin managed to break free, stumbling out of the forest as dawn broke, the first light piercing through the fog. The trio fell to the ground, gasping for breath, their hearts racing. But when they looked back, the forest stood silent, a facade of tranquility masking the horrors hidden within. Days passed, and the search party scoured the area for their missing friends, but the mountains remained indifferent, swallowing the souls of those who dared to wander too deep. Chai, Kwon, and Ainin returned to the village, haunted by the memories of that fateful night. As the years went by, the tale of the Churel and the cursed woods of Phu Kradueng became a local legend. Travelers spoke in hushed tones about the haunted forest, warning others to stay away from the paths where the mists gathered, and the whispers grew louder. But on nights when the moon was full, and the wind howled through the trees, some claimed they could hear the mournful song of the Churel, a lament for the lost souls forever trapped within the forest, waiting for the next unsuspecting wanderers to lure into the darkness.
Before you go, make sure to like and subscribe. You may think it's just a button, but here, in the shadowed mist, it's more. The Churel watches those who wander off alone. Without subscribing, she might just find you next. Secure your place here, or risk joining those forever lost in the fog. Go on, don't let her lure you into the darkness. Like, subscribe, and stay safe from what lingers in the shadows.